Hello, this is Connor Super Goofy, and welcome back to another video where I'm going to be ranking another one of my albums. Now, today I'm going to be looking at my collaborative album with Nervinx titled Life After Graduation. Seeing as that album has started to resurface recently, and um, the album back when it dropped in June didn't really do all that well, but it's recently started to resurface, and it's definitely and I reviewed it back when it came out, but some of my thoughts on the songs have changed, so I figured I'd go over it again and rank all the songs on the album again from a 0 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10. So let's start with the opening track, That's Me, which is let's keep in mind that That's Me and Call That Cap started out as Nervink's solo tracks. And That's Me is definitely um 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 Nervink's released That's Me as a solo song right at the end of January of this year, and the song eventually caught on and became a number one Connor's Hot List hit. And then in April, I jumped on the remix and we released it in June on this album. And um, it remains mostly unchanged, except for the fact that instead of an empty bridge like there was on the original, I now have a I now have a verse where that bridge would have gone. So let's talk about starting with the beat. It's pretty simple. Um, I like the drum line. The drum line has got some swing to it, and it also sounds pretty good. And I think it's a banjo um on the hook. That I like the melody, the riff that is played on the hook as well. Um, while Nervinx's vocal performance on the verses aren't that noteworthy, some of the lyrics, especially at the start of the second verse where he disses the Kansas City Chiefs. This song was obviously recorded right before the Super Bowl when we knew what two teams were playing, but we obviously didn't know the outcome of the game yet. So, um, and the bars about the Kansas City Chiefs have definitely aged well, and it led to a pretty hilarious pair of bars um, in the second verse, um, which read, "Root for the Chiefs, you do you, pal. But when I see a Chiefs flag, I'm lucky to still have my scalp." Um, which is pretty funny bars. I don't think my verse is all that interesting, but I think it's at least okay. I think overall the song is decent. It's not more than decent, but I think it's a six. It's a 6 out of 10. All right, the call that cap. We're ranking the remix. When I first this is another song that Nervinx originally dropped solo, dropping it as a solo song back in March. And originally, when I first heard it, I reviewed it, and it was only like a 5 out of 10. I thought the beat changed a little bit too many times. Didn't think it was that impressive, but eventually the track started to grow on me. I think hearing it a lot at Universal Orlando over spring break definitely helped with that. And then I decided to obviously jump on the remix again, and that elevated the song big time. The song ultimately ended up getting to number 4 on Connor's Hot List right at the end of the school year. So this song's good. This song's still good. At its peak, I would have given it like a 9 out of 10. As of right now, I think it's a strong 8. I think I definitely add a lot to the song, and the hook is really good. The synth sounds that are used throughout the track are pretty good. And I think overall, yeah, it's just a pretty good track. Following this, we have Leather Throne. Um, Now, Leather Throne is a pretty creative beat. I like the bell sounds on the verses, and I also like that the drum line on the chorus uses electro splats. I think that's a pretty creative idea to have the electro splats be the drums on the hook. I think the hook is a little bit too overdriven, but I think Nervinx's verse is probably one of his best on this album. My verse is also really good, and obviously there's that part on the bridge, that pretty funny part on the bridge where I say Rumble is a booty game mode, but that won't stop me from watching a big soap stream where it is involved. It all gets dissolved. Tornadoes pick you up and you can freeze the ball. Ultimately, I think the novelty kind of joke status of that line, that pair of that set of bars has kind of worn off a little bit since the track first released, but I still think it's a pretty good, well performed, well written song that I think is like it's a decent 8. Call That Cap is a strong 8. Leather Throne is just a decent 8. Alright, Rumble is Fumble. This is the weakest beat on the album. It's just a trap beat with nothing but a bass, trap drums, and a piano line. And I think I could have like done more with it when I produced it. I think it's definitely an underwhelming beat. I like how Nervinx turns it on in the second verse a little bit, but it's definitely still one of his weaker performances. Like the verses are pretty underwhelming and the hook is underwhelming. This is overall just an underwhelming song that honestly I don't really have that much to say about it. It's like a 4. It's a 4 out of 10. Definitely could have been better. The fifth track, Those Days Are Gone. This is the first downbeat song on the album. The first four were all pretty kind of upbeat. This is the first downbeat one, and I like I think the beat is pretty creative. And, um, but the one big thing that holds this song back is that this is the corniest song on the album by far. Nothing else on the album even comes close to it. The song I guess starts out tolerable enough, but it eventually devolves into insanity. Um um and the um third verse is I don't know, I find it kind of difficult to listen to, and especially that part at the end where Nervinx almost kind of sounds like he's having like a panic attack at the end. That I find kind of difficult to listen to. It's a very hard to listen to track because of the lyrics and because of what's happening in the song, and I don't think the beat is really good enough to make up for it. So it's like a strong 3, honestly. I think the corniness really holds it back a lot. The sixth track, Hooligans. Now, right off the bat, I gave this song a 10 out of 10. I None of us had like a bad performance on the song. The beat kills. The song is just it's just a really fun song that is I think perfect music for jumping into the pool to, which I jumped into the pool a lot to this song um during the months of May and June this year. This is just an enjoyable song all the way around. Um, I gave it a 10 out of 10 when I first reviewed this song, and ultimately I think the extreme overplay has that it has got since it released has kind of devalued it slightly, but it's still a great song. As of right now, I think it's like a strong 8. It's up there with Call That Cat, but I don't think it's even enough to even be a 9. Honestly, I think it ranks below Call That Cap at this point. It's not, like I said, it's still a great song, but I think it has kind of been devalued by the extreme overplay. So yeah, that's why I'd say I'd give it like an 8. Lives to Live. Now this song has only gotten better the more I've heard it. I wouldn't necessarily I don't think I would have necessarily said that I was that huge on it when I first released it. Um but it's definitely it's definitely I'd actually probably say it's the best song on the album. The beat is really good. I like the kind of tropical vibes that the beat has. Um it's also one of my favorite lyrical songs on the album. I don't think it's quite as amazing lyrically as Leather Throne is, but I think the beat on the song is better than the beat on Leather Throne. Um, I wrote my verse very quickly. I think lyrically I think it does actually stand up. I think it lyrically does go toe to toe with Leather Throne actually. Um, in fact, the only thing I think I think the only thing keeping the song from being a 10 out of 10 is the hook. I think the hook could have been sung a little bit better. I know it's Nervink singing the hook, and he's not quite as good a singer as I am, but still, I think there could have been a little bit more energy on the hook, and I just think the hook could have been done a little bit better. And that's the only thing keeping the song from being a 10 out of 10, but I'd say this song deserves a light 9, honestly. Um, it's I think it's grown to be better than all of these. All shaken up. I think it's got like an eerie sounding guitar line, and I think I think the song is I think the song is pretty good. I think the song's just pretty average. It's got a nice beat change toward the back end where I start rapping my verse. But other than that, I think it's kind of underwhelming, honestly. Um, it's a 5 out of 10 song. Can't Close My Eyes. I think this song is also a pretty good one. Um, um, Can't Close My Eyes. Definitely one of the best. It's definitely got a good beat. Um, the hook is also done pretty well as well, and both of our verses are pretty good. I think this is actually. I think I would give this song a strong 7 to a light 8. Honestly, I'm feeling a little bit more like a light 8 on this song. It's really good. And then finally Feel Power. Um wasn't that huge on it as a standalone track, but added to the end of the album, I think it kind of wraps up the album pretty well. It's um I don't think it's lyrically that interesting, but I do like the beat. It's one of my favorite beats that I've made. I think the beat is pretty good. I think vocally and lyrically it's just kind of average, not really that interesting, but the beat I think holds it up, and I think it's better than That's Me as well. It's a strong 6. So that's my ranking for the Life After Graduation album. Funny how there's a lot of songs down here, but there's no 7 out of 10s, and there's 4 8 out of 10 and a 9 out of 10. Um, which I think my overall rating of the album, I guess, kind of stands. I believe I don't remember, but I believe I said it's like a strong 7 to a light 8, which the rankings on this board I think kind of do represent that. I think it does. I think the tracks down here do push it toward it being a little bit more of a strong 7, but yeah, still a pretty good album. That's about it. See ya.